Hey y'all, we are in Wilmington and we are on a boat ride. Look at this right here. I need to get more. It's so much fun. Look at that. Huh? Yeah, baby. Here. I love it. It's so much fun. And we're just on the ocean. Just on the ocean. I got my family with me. Can y'all hear me? Hopefully y'all can hear me.
Feel good. Okay, folks, hands are off. Just a quick show of hands. Is this anyone's first time on the Cape Fear River? First time? First time? Cool, me too, actually. This is fun for everybody. Just kidding. A little about this river here. This is the Cape Fear. It's the largest river in the whole state of North Carolina. So it starts way back behind the city, almost Greensboro, actually. Drains a huge area along the way.
Yeah?
Goes to the heart of the state, something like 9,000 square miles. And basically what that means is that 1 out of every 6 raindrops that falls in North Carolina will actually end up in this river. And thanks to way on down south past our little city Wilmington here, it heads out to the Atlantic Ocean just about 28 miles in front of us. And it's the only river in the state to do so. So kind of unique in that regard. That's really why there's a port city here. You know, the port in Wilmington have always been intertwined. Historically, the port actually was behind us, kind of where we took off from. So downtown really Wilmington used to be the port. So we're getting ready to see it all down here in front of us. So go to the bridge real quick.
This is so cool. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's the cars going over. Miracle! Lamora.
Alright. So, looking off the starboard here, we have all the infrastructure which allows us to have a port in the first place. So, up here is where we keep our tugboat fleets, and we've got 2 different tug companies that work this river. So, these boats right here are the McAllister boats. They're named after different members of the McAllister family, as you can see. So we've got the Margaret McAllister, there's the Eric McAllister, but that third boat's named Morania, which is I think what happened when they had more boats than kids. But that's them, and then down the way too we have the Moran fleet of tugs, and they are they're a cool company as well. They have those big white M's on their smokestacks, which of course stands for Moran. But every October they do something kind of nifty. They'll actually paint those M's bright pink, and that's not for Halloween or anything. It's because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so they do that to kind of show some support, some solidarity. I think the Moran family matriarch also was a breast cancer survivor, which is I think why they do that. So so that's them. And then here in the middle is where we keep a lot of our dredging equipment. So there's a lot of dredging that takes place on this Cape Fear River here. There's they have to keep the river deep enough for these big ships. So it's got to be at least 42 feet at low tide to allow these ships to pass through here. So you'll see one of the ships that I'm talking about here. They're pretty big. They're pretty heavy. So we'll take a look at that. All right. So let's see. What company are we on down here? Off the port here we have our some tanks for chemical storage. Not that exciting, but one of them does have a nice painting of a pelican on it. So that's Nigel, we call him. Nigel the pelican. He's one of our mascots here in the Cape Fear River. And we'll probably, if we look hard enough, I bet you we'll see one of those in real life. There's a Pelicanus occidental, the American brown pelican. And it's the only species of pelican that we have here. There's 1 or 2 species in North America. But they're pretty cool. We have a lot of them around here, but that almost wasn't the case. For a long time back in the 70s, we were using this chemical called DDT. And it's kind of really bad for these birds.
I just thought lightning.
Farmers were using it on their fields, and of course it was raining.
Did you see it too?
And it was getting into the streams and then into the lakes and rivers as well. And along the way it to it, which was hitting all the fish. And of course, that's because birds eat, they eat a lot of fish. So it was actually bioaccumulating in their bodies, and they were, basically it was affecting how they reproduced. They would lay these very soft eggs and wouldn't hold up to the mother sitting on the incubator. So for a while they weren't getting anything intelligent. But thankfully, Dr. Rachel Carson wrote this great book called Silent Spring, and kind of shed some light on the issue. And from that, we were able to pass some legislation to outlaw it and ban it, and haven't used it since. And thank goodness, now we actually have birds again. We've got cormorants, ospreys, eagles, all that good stuff. So good to see. There's a little seagull right there. All right, so kind of work our way on down here. Off this off to our right side, this is what's called Eagles Island over here, and it's named after the 70s rock band. No, I'm just kidding. It's not named after the bird either, believe it or not. It's actually named after Dr. Richard Eagles. This all used to be his rice plantation back in the day. And if you come with us on our north trip, you can still see that there's actually still some irrigation canals that are left over from that. So kind of cool to see.
Oh.
Not supposed to go in the water. And a brain freeze and a heart freeze.
I was gonna come back to that too. Oh, for real? I ain't never had no heart one.
Hold on a second here, brother.
Yo, I have never been on like a little mini cruise like this. This is so cool. I really, really, really like it. Wilmington. And look at all the ships that we're about to pass. Look at this right here. Look at the water if you can see it. Stuff like this is just amazing.
All right, so folks, as I was saying, off here to starboard, this is Eagles Island, which is now a dredge-full island to the Cape Fear. So basically, when they dredge this river out, it's got to be deep enough for these ships. So the reason the island is so tall is because the top of that island basically used to be the bottom of this river here. So kind of a neat thing there. And off the port here, off to the left, is actually some old shipbuilding facilities. You can kind of see that little chunk taken out of the river there. So that's actually an old place where they would build concrete ships. Y'all ever heard of concrete ships? Not really, right? So it turns out they're kind of a bad idea. That's why they don't really do it anymore. But basically, they built one. The first one that they ever built was called Sakona, and she had a very brief and exciting career down in Miami. She was actually working as a rum smuggling ship back in the days of Prohibition here. So they had this ship that she was kind of running back and forth to the Bahamas to get rum. And when she actually struck a reef in the Bahamas, and when people saw that, the eyewitnesses said that the ship's hull, and I quote, broke up like a teacup, which is not something you would have soul ever do. So after that, they basically stopped building concrete ships. But there was some much more successful shipbuilding here that took place back in the days leading up to World War II. And kind of down here, actually where the port is now, there used to be a big shipbuilding operation that was building these, what they call Liberty ships, which would be the first ship to be welded together, actually. Kind of interesting. And they were able to build them really quickly because of that.
Thank you, Miracle.
And one of the things that they did was, the
Thank you.
fastest that they ever built one of those Liberty ships actually took 3 days to start to finish. So really kind of incredible how they could do that quickly. And then on the other thing, they were the best month they ever had here. They actually built 11 of those ships in 1 month, which is really kind of a feat, I think. But yeah, so and then after the war, they actually brought them up here and they actually mothballed the fleet over in the Brunswick River, which is just off to our right. It's just on the other side of Eagles Island. It's what actually makes Eagles Island a true island. So.
You still have some on in your cup.
Anyway, so there's actually some pictures of that in this book. So I can find it real quick. There it is. There you go. You can see all the old Liberty ships there, kind of
Look at all of
docked up in the Brunswick River. So kind of a cool thing to see there. But that's kind of our history, and shipbuilding has always been a big important part of what we do in Wilmington. Now we're getting some really big ships in, actually. So you can kind of see that one looming down in the distance. That's what's called a Neo-Panamax ship. And that's actually the largest ship that can fit through the Panama Canal.
Thank you.
And they've done a few things to our port to accommodate those. This part of the river that we're in now, actually, this is called our turning basin. And it's actually they just widened this by 50 or 100 feet in order to make room for these big ships. So it's a big operation here.
I feel all the air
They
too.
had to do to widen it. That ship is about 1,200 feet long. So when it comes up the river, they got to turn the thing around again so it can head back out. So they do that basically right here where we're looking. It's like part of our house. Alrighty, and so down here at the actual state port, off to the left, and this is the actual port here. This is the largest port in the whole state of North Carolina. That's pretty impressive, but there's actually only 2 ports in North Carolina, but still, we're the biggest one. And we do about 600 ships a year, and we got 600 ships a year, and this northern section here, this is all bulk goods, so all stuff that's in big piles and big containers, not so much in little shipping containers, like the ones that we'll see on that ship in front of us. So these, we've got a few big things here. These big pyramid-shaped structures, those are actually those are storing some grain, some animal feed. And essentially, that's one of our main imports here in North Carolina because we've got a lot of livestock in North Carolina, specifically in eastern North Carolina. So the eastern third of the state has more pigs than the whole state has people, actually. So, and that doesn't include all the ones that got elected. So we have to feed those animals something. We're importing a lot of this grain from Brazil, and alright, folks, we're going to go ahead and turn around here. There's a little bit of weather up in front of us, so we're going to head back home.
So it's starting to thunder, so
Right.
we're going to have to head
Don't worry,
back.
y'all. We'll continue the tour here. We'll stay out for the whole time. We're just going to aim that way.
But it's still gonna be
not as much action. So. Alright. Folks, I'm going to turn on some tunes here as we cruise on back. And let's sit tight and enjoy the view.
Said we're turning around.
Yeah, he said it was some weather up above, up there.
I want to make my name back.
Alright, I'm going to hit you guys back up. I hope you enjoyed what I showed you.